welcome to the stream, the live Q&A. Get set up here a little bit. Of course, I'm Andy Kruger, your host. You leave the questions, I answer them, and hopefully we get those dogs out there a little better trained than they currently are. Now, of course, I got them rocking here. We got the grip shirt. Let's get us pulled up. These aren't available, but maybe I'll make them available. Come on now, kind of a Jaws vibe going on. Okay, what's up, y'all? Yeah, pretty sweet t-shirts. A friend of mine made this design a while back, never did anything with it, so if you just see grips the whole time, there's a Malinois at the bottom. Let's see here. Let's get caught up on some stuff. Just posted a video earlier this week. The title is Reactive Dog. Watch this. The barking game. If you guys haven't seen that video, the concept behind it is not even just for a reactive dog, but for any dog. Do you have a barking game you can play with them? And is it a legit game? Yip, yip. Okay, here's a cookie. You have a real barking game you can play with the dog. My point in the video was most dogs like to bark. A lot of dogs need to bark. So if you have a reactive dog out there looking for something to bark at all the time, you need training, you need neutrality, you need them to zip it, you need all that. But they want to bark. They love to bark. Give them a venue for it. Teach them a game in a certain context. That's when that dog can absolutely go off. In the video, Big Fred was kind enough to lend his services and demonstrate some barking for you. Think about it this way, guys. Reactive dogs, they're out there, they're looking for something to bark at. It makes them feel good. I explain why in the video. And usually the handler's always, hey, stop it, don't do it. Uh-oh, it's coming. Sit there and wait. Don't do that thing again. I'm going to correct you. Uh-oh, you barked. I got to correct you now. Oh, here's a treat. Don't pay attention to it. And there's like, just the vibe is off around the whole barking thing. Imagine you have a game like you saw in the video where you could show your dog a toy and you could tell him a bark command. And your dog doesn't just bark once or twice. They go bark, 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 over and over and over and over again. Even for high drive dogs, Belgian Malinois, you'd be surprised how tired you could get a dog in 5 to 10 minutes if they have a legitimate barking game. So forget the, hey, don't bark. Uh-oh, no, stop. Don't do that. No, we're coming here. Bark, baby. Bark. More. Boom, boom. More, more, more. Go, go, go. Bark, bark, bark. Oh, man. If I'm a dog out there and I could have one of two owners, one owner is going to stop my reactivity. The other owner is going to stop my reactivity and give me a barking game. Which owner do you think I'm picking? So that video's out. Check it out if you haven't seen it. Let's see, what do we got here? Why can't I scroll? Let me scroll. Oh, God. Okay, I'm not a computer scientist, guys. Bear with me. Oh, my God. Why are you doing this to me? Come on. For the love of God. Okay, I gotta figure this out. What's up? Can dog wear a prong collar all day? You don't want the dog to have the prong on all day. During training sessions, hanging out with the dog, have it on for a couple hours here, a couple hours there, but no, you don't want the prong on all the time. Give me a second, y'all. I'm trying to scroll down on these comments and it's just giving me some problems. My new puppy's doing awesome. Little Clark, who's watching those videos? He's probably 12 weeks old now, Boykin Spaniel. I just did a training session with him this morning. I think you guys are really gonna like, maybe try to shoot the video this afternoon. Day 8 of training Clark, introducing leash pressure and introducing the harness. That's going to be the next video. It's going to be pretty slick. I'm looking forward to doing that one. I recently built a flirt pole for my dog. What's the best way to introduce it? And should I alternate it with the tug or not? Is the audio off? What's going on with the audio? Maybe we'll restart this whole thing. This is a disaster. Audio looks good. What's wrong with the audio? It says audio is good on my end. Is it? Wait, are you messing with me? Hopefully you guys can hear me. Here's the thing with the flirt pole. Yeah, just use that. You guys know what a flirt pole is? Okay, good. Audio sounds good. You have a stick of sorts with a long leash attached to it with a toy on the end. It's like a fishing pole, but a flirt pole. And you can put a little rag on the end. You get a little puppy. This would probably be a great video to do with little Clark. Now that you reminded me. Maybe I'll do that on Patreon. Just flirt with the puppy a little bit with the pole. The flirt pole, don't worry about grip, countering, blah, blah, blah. That's just to kick in the dog's prey drive. Good for dogs, good for puppies. It kind of takes you away from it. And they can just, you're standing here and you're just shooting that thing around, letting puppy get it when they make a good effort at it. And you're taking yourself out of the equation. Actually, one of my Patreon members just sent me a video. He's training a female German Shepherd. She's like a year old. He's never worked with her before. And he showed me some video of him playing with the dog. And I go, that dog needs a flirt pole. New dog to you. Dog doesn't know you that well. You holding the toy here and being here, it's kind of a lot of pressure on the dog. So it's like you start out there. You do your little flirt pole thing, and then over time I can work my way in and actually start handling the toy. But it is a great tool to kicking in that prey drive. Everyone's like, we can hear you. Okay. Questions are still coming in kind of funny, but we're going to power through it. Hey, Andy, how do you train an 11-month-old puppy to stop weeing on excitement? Ooh. Oh. Ah. Sorry, I can't read your name on there. There's no one on the face of the planet that likes excited peeing. I think it's one thing every person with a dog can actually agree on. Is that the only thing we can all agree on? That's the worst. I'm just going to be honest. That's the worst. I'll give you some advice. That totally sucks. Man, I hate that. It's so hard to deal with that. With my new puppy, every time I let him out of the crate, I'm petting him, he's excited, he's jumping on me. I'm like, yay, yay, yay. The whole time I'm actually thinking, gosh, I'm so glad you don't excited pee. I'm sorry. It's a problem I've dealt with a lot. I'm sure a lot of people can relate. Oh, it's one of those things. Almost any potty training issue past like 4 months old is like, oh man, that sucks. I've been there. I don't think I've been there with my personal dogs, luckily, but a lot of client dogs. Oh man, I've been there and it totally sucks. I mean, I got to start with the general dog trainer information. Your dog's peeing because they're overly excited. Don't need a rocket scientist for that one. How do we make the puppy, the dog at this point almost, less excited? Read your dog. What are you doing that's making that dog so excited? Walking in the room? Eliminate eye contact. Don't look at the dog. Believe it or not, dogs that are really excitable, if you just go, the dog goes, oh, like that gives them juice. No eye contact. This is like Cesar Millan. Don't look at him. Don't touch the dog. Do not touch the dog. No touchy. And don't say a word to the dog. Okay, this is Cesar Millan playbook, but you need to ignore that dog. You need to be so neutral. And it does just depend the situations it's happening. Does it happen when you go to get the dog out of the crate? If it doesn't happen when you go to get the dog out of the crate, that's really, really good. But you open up the crate door, the dog's excited, you go to put the leash on and they pee. That is literally the worst. You have to have the crate right by a door. You need to pop it and you need to go outside and you need to ignore that dog. I don't know what kind of dog you have, but not to sound rude, but whatever you've been doing, like, do the opposite. Because everything you've done over the course of 11 months old, 9 months, the dog is here now. So if we want the dog to be here, you got to change big time what you're doing. Don't pet the dog. Don't talk. Oh, I can't say hi to the dog when I come home. Hell no, you can't say hi to the dog when you come home. You got pee everywhere. Hell no. So you really gotta. I was gonna say at the top here, and we're still pretty early. Any questions you have, always include the age of your dog, which you did here, and I appreciate. Don't write a paragraph, but any details, like here, it's like, how do you stop getting them to pee when they're excited? Only happens when someone comes to the door. Only happens when in the crate. Give me a little something so I can wrap my head around it a little bit more. But priority number one for that dog is probably watch the water too. Your dog might be drinking way too much water, but priority number one is getting that thing outside, getting it to go to the bathroom. And then after that, okay, I can start to do something now, but that is just such a tough one. Look at what you've been doing though, and think about how that's adding to the dog's excitement. Are you looking at the dog, making eye contact? Are you petting the dog? Are you saying, okay, easy, hello, how you doing? Hey, take it easy. Oh man, are you saying stuff? Are you inadvertently fueling the excitement? Put yourself in the dog's shoes. Because a lot of times owners go, no, I didn't do that. But the dog kind of thinks you did. I hope that might help a little bit. Hey, Andy, I named my Malinois Kruger after you as I learned a lot from you before I got him. Are you serious? He's only 3 years old now. He's awesome. But has terrible ball drive. Dang it, Kruger. Damn it, Kruger. Get the ball, Kruger. Did you really name your dog after me? Well, if that's actually true, that's a huge honor. Thank you very much. Also a super badass name. Okay, this isn't a kid's show. It's Saturday. Come on, that's badass. Kruger, let's see some hustle on that ball. Try stuff like that. I'm just kidding. Increasing drive, whether it be for a toy or for food. We need to implement frustration. Frustration makes the dog want it more. Restraint, whether it be a barrier like a fence or the dog is tied out to a tree on a harness or a flat collar. To build any kind of drive, I want my dog working on back pressure. Good timing for the question, because a few moments ago I talked about the session I just did with my new puppy on a harness, introducing back pressure. Day 1, day 8, but day 1 of introducing it. When I make that video, should be pretty soon here, those concepts at a foundational level is what you want with your dog. If they don't care so much about the ball, we got to frustrate them about the ball. We got to make the ball more valuable. What makes something more valuable? It's hard to get. If it's like ball, take it, ball, drop it. Here's the ball. Come get it here. Ball. Here's some money. Money. Here's 1,000. Here's another 1,000. Here's 10,000. You got to make that ball hard to get. You got to make the dog frustrated to get that ball. This is a classic example of like a minute training session. 30 seconds, a minute and a half, short little training session on this. Frustrate them, let them get it, bam. Frustrate them, let them get it, frustrate, okay, we're done. When you're building drive, you have to be really careful of reaching the point of diminishing returns. Because you could get 2 minutes of fire, you could get 30 seconds of fire, but you do a 5-minute session and the last several repetitions, the dog's effort goes way down. So that building drive, you really have to be keen on reading your dog. Dogs with boatloads of drive that just have it all day no matter what, you don't have to really be that smart or precise of a handler. Because they're just ready to go at all times. Like, okay, here's a ball. Boom! Ball drive, check. So it's going to take longer. It's going to one little piece, but whatever your dog's drive is now, I bet you could get it 50% better, just not knowing anything with the right techniques. What are some pointers you can give to get through the BH trials? Great question, Linda. So what Linda's referring to is the dog sport of IGP, or formerly known as Schutzhund. Before you can get into levels 1, 2, and 3, you have to pass a preliminary test, a certification of sorts called a BH, and it's obedience. There's no bite work in there. You could compare it to the brevet in French ring or Mondio ring, a PDC in PSA. Except for the BH, there's no bite work. So any pointers for getting your dog through a BH? Well, one of the big ones is your dog's going to have to hold a downstay on the side of the field while another dog goes through the entire BH routine. There's going to be commands, dog running, whatever going on, and your dog has to stay in the downstay. And it's been a while since I've done a BH, but you ain't standing right next to the dog. You're far away. I can't remember if you're out of sight or not, but you're far away. So the biggest thing that stands out to me as a little bit of an outsider is like, you better have a rock solid downstay for a while around distractions. The BH is really just to show a judge that my dog is competent to enter level 1. That's really all it is. It's like what I meant to say in French ring was a CSAU. I accidentally said Burbank. Whatever. Um, is this dog dangerous on the field? Like, if you go on the field and send your dog, is it going to go bite the judge? Is it going to run off the field into the spectators? Like, do you have control over your dog? Does your dog know commands? That's pretty much what the BH is for. But it does put a little emphasis on neutrality because I know, depending how the judge sets it up, you're going to have to pass by other dogs, you're going to have to pass by a tractor, you're going to do a little environmental exercise that is going to show a judge my dog isn't a sketchy nerve bag who's unpredictable. So your dog has good neutrality, good environmentals. They got a rock solid downstay at a distance around distraction. And finally, your dog can execute a heel command. Your dog can execute a whistle to finish in the front. Your dog can execute a downstay. Mastering the basics, heel sit down stay. That's a that's a BH right there, baby. It's the basics, but done really well. It's a heel sit down stay recall. Be neutral. So hopefully that helps. Soon to be 4-year-old German Shepherd. Soon to be 4-year-old German Shepherd, male. Decent with strangers, except when they make eye contact and directly try to address him. How do I neutralize him to them? Yeah, 4-year-old male German Shepherd, decent with strangers unless they look at him. I mean, how perfect does that tie in to a few questions ago with don't look at the dog, it'll make them too excited. For that dog, that's the case. For this 4-year-old Shepherd, it's like, don't look at the dog because it's going to piss him off. Don't look at my dog. It pisses him off. Obviously, you want a dog that isn't going to go into defensive mode if somebody looks at him. But being 4 years old, first and foremost, you got to be an advocate for your dog. Any stranger that your dog comes across, you have to tell them he's in training. Please ignore him and don't look at him. He has trouble when people look at him. Obviously, if you're just passing somebody in the street and they're walking, looking, okay, that's a different story. But if you have someone come to the house, if you're taking the dog for a walk, you stop and talk to your neighbor, anyone that's actually going to be in these situations, they got to meet you halfway. They have to operate at a level that's appropriate for your dog. And right now, it's like, don't look at it. Are there things you could do to start, I guess, desensitizing the dog to that, reverse conditioning the dog to that? I mean, I guess there is. I could throw out some options. I don't know if they're going to be the right fit for your dog because I don't know a lot here, but I can throw out some general suggestions. Counter conditioning. Dog stares, and then the dog's mind goes to a certain place. Can we rewire that to go, my dog stares, but then his brain goes to this place? You got to have a really motivated dog for their reward, and you have to have strangers that are willing to help you out for periods of time. So you could start by having a stranger stand there. You're standing there with your dog. You go, look at me, Fluffy. Fluffy looks at you, and you go, good. And you give the dog a little payment. Okay, we're good when the person's not looking at him. Hey, now I want you to make eye contact with my dog for 1 second, and then like look away, turn your back. Eyes connect. He turns around. You go, Fluffy. Boom. Yes, yes. Jackpot. Just did a jackpot video on my Patreon. Good, 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 good. Look. Turn around. Look, turn around. Look, right here. Good. End the session maybe. Slowly but surely, but at 4 years old, this is a habit that probably isn't new. So to rewire that, yeah, it would probably take a couple of months. But it's not too much to ask. You're looking at something genetic here, by the way. It's not too much to ask for the dog to be neutral-ish around something like that. It's unfair to make him try to love it, to make him thrive off of it. But can you just hold your you know what together while frickin' Dave looks at you for 2 seconds? Okay, that's not that big of a deal. So can we communicate that to the dog? But you definitely need a dog that is highly motivated by food or toy, even around distractions. Not that distraction, any other distraction. Can you engage the dog and keep the dog with other distraction? Then you could definitely do it with this easily, I think. Okay, we got one from France. What's up? What's up? Not my smoothest run through I've ever done. Thumbs up, people. He's helping us out. Come on. I like that one. He was genuinely named after you. Thank you very much. That is freaking awesome. Thank you. Any tips to get him to walk backwards in a straight line? The old walking backwards. This is how I would do it. If you want, like, within a few sessions, your dog's walking straight backwards, you got to do it up against a fence line, up against a wall, up against some kind of physical barrier that is, I mean, 10, 15, 20 feet. You know, the longer the better. So you have your dog, wall, dog, you. Let's do a little demo here. Your dog is named Kruger. Let's do a little demo here. This is going to be my wall. This is going to be my dog. And this is me. So I've sandwiched Fluffy, Kruger, in between me and the barrier. Now, I'm assuming Kruger, he better, has some good food drive. So you're a little bit sideways here. So your dog's mouth is here, their butt's here, I'm here. Push him back one step, feed him. Push him back one step, feed him. If he tries to kick out this way, you got your stance right here. You can use your knee to kind of bump his hip and get him straight one step at a time. Where I see people really go wrong with teaching backing up is that they go to the Super Bowl too fast. They go, okay, I'm going to teach you to back up, back up, back up, back up, back. One step, hammer that over and over again. One step back, booyah. One step back, booyah. And you're just going, boom, yeah. Don't even say a command, just push. Boom, yeah, you can use the leash. Boom, good, good, good. And then over a little bit of time, depending how your dog's doing, you're going to start here and you're going to push them back. Good. Bring them back. Push them back. Push them. I hope you follow here. Quick repetitions, only marking right when that dog steps back. Circle back with me when you have that flawless, and we can talk about what if he's not next to a barrier. But that's far in the future. He has to be a rock star walking straight backwards with barriers. He has to be a rock star at that first. So I do the old sandwich trick and I push the dog. Remember, whatever way their head turns, their rear end will turn the opposite way. So if you turn that dog's head to their left, their rear end's going to want to go here, and vice versa. So if you're trying to push your dog back and you notice they just have the habit of immediately kicking one way, overcompensate by turning their head and then pushing them back. So if your dog, okay, here's the barrier, but on my side, when I push back, he just wants to kick this way and turn, then his head needs to be turned a little more to his right. So his back goes that way a little more. If you cut the audio out, I'm sure this is an interesting demonstration. Maybe even if you don't cut the audio out, but whatever it takes around here. Would be a good video for the future, though. How do I train a real ball drive? I try to train obedience with the ball, but my dog gets completely overexcited and barks the whole time. In the past, I only played fetch with the ball. I only train with food. Ah. Oh, okay. How do I train a real ball drive? So I think what you meant here, sorry, I can't read your name. He's saying his dog has real ball drive. And whenever the ball comes out, the dog just goes ballistic. Okay? I'd rather work with that problem for sure. Can your dog run through the obedience with just food? Your answer is probably yes. Does it great with food, but when the ball comes out, he loses his mind. Food and the ball need to be best friends right now. Food and ball, they're one. Food ball. Here's what I mean. Have the ball tucked away. I like to wear a training vest. I guess a hoodie could do the trick too. Put it in a jacket pocket. Dog don't know you have it. You have your regular food treats on you. Dog knows you have those. Run him through a little heel. Pay him with the food. Heel? Good. Pay him with the food. Heel? Good. Pay him with the food. Heel? Good. Pull out your ball. Give it to him. Start playing. Good boy. Good boy. Out. Put the ball away. He starts barking and barking and barking. Hey, shut up. Give him some food. Flip him back and heel. Shove food in his mouth. Hey, heel. Go back to working for food. If he takes a while to calm down, do a bunch of food. Not so long, you don't have to do it as much. Sit. Good boy. Give him a piece of food. Heel. Sit. Good boy. Give him a piece of food. Heel. Sit. Good boy. Give him the ball. Ball appears, ball's in his mouth. We're tugging on the ball. Good boy. Out. Yes. Out. Yes. Out. Put it away. Shove food in his face. Heel. Make him eat. Make him shut up. Make him heel for the food. Good. Down. Good. Food. Down. Good. Ball. Play. Out. Put it away. Heel. Shut up. Food's in your mouth. Heel. Down. Good. Food. Mix them together. You're not at the point yet where you can have that toy on show. Your dog's going to lose his mind. Ball has to be put away. After these sessions, your dog goes, there is a possibility of that ball making an appearance. And I love that possibility. That's my favorite possibility. I don't gamble. If I go to the casino and I sit down and play a game, there's a possibility of me winning $1 million. I love that possibility. Probably not gonna happen, but I love that potential. A little more realistic with your dog. That ball's the jackpot. I love the potential of that ball being there, but because I'm a lunatic, we're gonna handle it a certain way. Food, food, food. When your dog least expects it, bring the toy out, give it to him. Don't bring the toy out and make him wait. Don't have there be time where he can load up. Yes, boom. Don't worry about prey drive. Take it out, give it to him. Out, put it away. Go back to food. Get Psycho to come to terms with, ball's gone. You're not getting it again. Eat. Do what you normally do. Get him past that step. And I believe where you're at now, that's going to start building the foundation for self-control around the toy. Doing the session that way too, it's like avoiding all corrections. If you can orchestrate that in a certain way, you're not going to have to correct your dog. What are we correcting? We're correcting a skill set he doesn't really have. So it's not great. You have to make him be great by what you do and how you do it. I hope that helps. Amazing. I'll try some of those things. Thanks, Andy. That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. I want you guys to jump on here, ask a question, and then you go out and you do it and it works. Or it just gives you an idea of what to do and that works. That's what I want. I like results. Can you believe that? I like results, and I don't like waiting a really long time to get them. I like results. I board and train dogs for 3 weeks. On one hand, you could say, wow, that's a lot of time. On another hand, you could say that's hardly any time at all. I want my dog to go from really, really bad to really, really, really good in 3 freaking weeks. So I do like results fast. I also like doing things right. Can we do both? The answer is yes. What age was Jasper when he done his first French ring trial? He was just over a year old when he got his brevet. I did things really fast with him. So by 9 months old, he already had the whole Ring 3 program. Not finished, but he had every exercise that he'd see in French Ring to some extent, with some help. So by the time he was a year and 2, 3 months old, we do his brevet. He probably could have done his level 2 that day. So it was easy for him. So we did that at about a year, and we closed out both legs of his Ring 3 when it was like a month or 2 after his 3rd birthday. So you could say we got everything done in 3 years. That's pretty fast. That's about as fast as you can do it for a dog. With Freddie, I'm doing it a little bit slower. Not because fast is bad, but because Freddie's just a different dog. He needs time. He needs a little more time because he's stupid. It's very stupid. Just kidding. He's just slow to mature, just kind of funky. Just like when I put a dog on the field, whatever level I'm in, I want him to be capable of doing a level or 2 above that. I don't want to just, I think he's ready. No. So Fred just needed a little bit more time, but 1 year old, 2 years old, that's usually a good time. Listen to the Nate podcast. Thank you. I was talking about on my last live how I went on Nate Schomer's podcast, dog trainer, YouTube channel. Good guy. I had a good time, but I was urging everyone to check out that episode. I made a post about it earlier this week, so you can find it there on my page. Great combo with Nate, couple hours long, some good info in there. I want everyone to hear, but let's be honest, I also want more views than the other trainers I think aren't that good. Sorry. Come on, get them up. Let's get them up. Thanks, Andy. You're welcome. By the way, the thumbnail on this video picture there, that's Freddie doing his throne retrieve in a Ring 2 trial, I think at the championships. No AI slop over here. I actually use real pictures of our doggies there. But it's a sweet pic. He's all shredded in there. He's shredded. Believe it or not, that dog eats a boatload of food. But he's shred city. I just like that picture. That's a rolled up sock on the ground. So your throne retrieve, sit, stay, throw your sock, go get it, pick it up, bring it back, hold it. Gotta love a good retrieve. 3-year-old German Shepherd, reactive to other dogs, just wants to play. What ways can I disengage/distract and eventually have him not interact? Use a combo of slip lead and training collar have helped so far. Any other? Yep. Okay, this will be a good one to dig into a little bit. 3-year-old reactive German Shepherd to other dogs wants to go play with them. Well, let's keep this tight. If your dog believes another dog will give them a reward, they're not going to stop showing interest in that. The reward is play. The reward is interaction. It is the dog gets a certain feeling. When he goes and interacts with another dog, that is probably one of the best feelings to him. And if he could get that every day, that'd be great. If he could get it multiple times a day, every day, that would be great. This is how your dog's thinking. First thing you got to do with a reactive dog that just wants to go and play, you got to stop letting him play with other dogs right now. Period. Point blank. He can't play with other dogs? Hell no! But he loves to. I don't love his reactivity though. And I kind of matter here. It's not forever, but your dog in the training process needs to see another dog and just know for a fact he ain't getting over there. And we'll address the rest, but you got to get over that hump first. There is a 0% chance you are going to interact with that dog that you're interested in. Again, if you go to the casino, if you sit down at a slot machine or a poker table and the dealer goes, hey, there's a 0% chance you'll win. Quite literally. Ain't no one playing that game. You have no interest in sitting at that table or that slot machine. You have zero interest. There's 0% for a payoff. Your dog kind of needs to think the same way about another dog. I ain't going to get to that. That's the first thing. Now, of course, I've been over this in my lives before. If you want your dog to stop a behavior, you have to punish that behavior. If you want them to continue a behavior, you have to reinforce that behavior. That's dog training 101. A lot of you probably know that. How do we punish it though? Well, there's two ways. There's positive punishment and negative punishment. We're past the point of ignoring the dog. So yes, we have to add in positive punishment. Slip lead, training collars, whatever the case may be for that dog. But going back to my reactivity video I posted on YouTube this week, just punishing isn't enough. It's important. It's going to have to happen at some point, but that alone is not enough. Your dog, on top of that, also needs to know there's a 0% chance I'll get to that dog. And your dog also needs to be able to execute reliable obedience around other distractions. I bet my bottom dollar that your dog's pretty good around distractions, but if you brought him here and I orchestrated a appropriate distraction session, I think the dog would struggle. I think you could do a lot more outside of that situation to build engagement, neutrality, focus, commitment around little distractions that you control. The problem with jumping into the other dogs he sees is you have zero control over that distraction. Nothing. So how much control is your dog going to have? If I am going to work around another dog, this is how I do it. I know you might not be able to do this because you're not a dog trainer with access to all this stuff. I'll have a friend of mine, I'll have my wife come out. Here, hold this dog for me. They're neutral. Here, hold on to them. I'm going to bring out this dog. And we're going to do a bunch of work around that other dog at a distance. And if it takes a half hour, it takes a half hour. If it takes 7 hours, it takes 7 hours. It doesn't take that long. but you get the point. I control that distraction. I can say, hey, walk a few steps with that dog. Okay, stop right there. Hey, can you back up a little bit? Okay, good, good. I need 5 minutes of you like that. When you can control that distraction, you can control your dog. Out on the street, just passing, that's the ultimate test. You are putting all of your training you've done outside of that situation to the test. I compete in the French ring dog sport. When I go out onto the field to trial, that is my test. I don't get no equipment. I don't get any corrections, any rewards, any extra commands, any extra movement. I don't get none of that. I got to say the command, and we find out if the dog will do it that day, that time, on that field. It's a test. You going out for a walk, that's going to be the same thing. That is your test. Everything we've been doing in training isn't going to translate to the big game. Don't look at that as like a training scenario. That's a testing scenario. And before you give that dog the test, you got to have the punishment. You got to have 0% chance I get to him. You got to have ability around other distractions so that when you do punish, the dog has somewhere to go after that. Then you're probably ready to give him a little test. I hope that helps. Are some dogs just never able to be fully engaged while in very busy environments like a city center due to genetics? I'd love for my dog to be able to fully perform his obedience there. Great question. Are there some dogs that will just never be able to fully engage around distraction because of genetics? No. No. There are some dogs that with their genetics are going to give you a hell of a time. There can be some dogs that, due to their genetics and past experiences, yeah, they won't be able to be as good as a dog with different genetics and different experiences. But it's not just purely genetic, because neutrality and engagement is trained. Genetically, a dog can be way more engaged and way more neutral than another dog's genetics. For sure, I'm not saying it's not a thing, but a good trainer can take a dog with genetics that aren't so good and reach the same place, destination, as a dog whose genetics are good when it just comes to engagement and neutrality. Those things are just straight up training. Genetics can help you, but it comes down to training at the end of the day. Some things genetically, it doesn't come down to training. It's just what you have. But the ability to focus, the ability to remain neutral, that's something that has to really be taught to this dog. So it's possible. It's not hopeless. The age of the dog plays a massive factor. Is it a 7-year-old dog? Is the dog 7 months old? That's a big difference. Genetically speaking, yeah, that dog won't ever be able to achieve what a dog with totally different genetics would be. Fair. But engagement and neutrality in a busy environment, I believe any dog could be trained to do that, with the exception of something really extreme that's happened to the dog. Let's pretend nothing crazy extreme has happened to this dog in the past. Every dog should be able to be trained to at least meet that minimum requirement. So the dog that has trouble performing there, boom, we need big lifestyle changes. We need big changes outside of that situation. Everyone thinks we got to change what we do in that situation. No, you got to train what you do outside of that situation. You got to change it. I want to compare it to crate training. Follow me here. Maybe this isn't a good comparison. But what your dog does outside of the crate kind of depends about how they are inside of the crate. Okay, it's going to take me a while to explain this. Just follow me here. Look, the dog's performance in this example in the city center, it's not how we want it. So scrap the city center. We're going to come home. We're going to make a training game plan. We're going to pick out this distraction always really gets my dog. Someone walking by quickly. That always gets him. So now I'm going to go back to the drawing board. I'm going to come into the lab. I'm going to come into the think tank here with my dog. And I'm going to come up with a game we can play where he kind of sees that same picture, but I can get a different result there. I think you see where I'm going with it. It's pretty similar to the reactive dog question. Can you manufacture distractions in your training sessions that challenge the dog, but the dog always overcomes them because they're appropriate for their skill level? Do your distraction sessions constantly, incrementally increase in difficulty level? Are you constantly trying to find where the next chink in the dog's armor is? That's where you're going to get all the results. That's when you're going to get the foundation that can translate to that test. Because taking your dog into that city center, that's a test. And you've done it and the dog's failed the test. So we got to say, how can he pass that test? It's not by taking the test over and over and over and over again and eventually getting it right. It's about going back to studying, going back to learning. Ooh, on this test, he did a lot better than the last test, big time. Still not a great score, but he did good. I'm going to bring him back. Based on what he did in that test, that's going to tell me what I need to focus on. Hope that helps. I will try. I have only heard that he gets overexcited. Let me read through this one a little bit. This is a little confusing. Okay, this is back to the ball crazy dog question. Do you have to use French commands to compete in French Ring, or is it optional? It is optional. It is optional. You can use French, English, I guess German. I never really see any other, but the thing with your language in French Ring, it has to be consistent across the board. So you can't use an English command for heel, a French command for bite, a German command for jump. Whatever language you're in, that has to be your language. I never see in French Ring anything besides English or French. I never really see that with a serious competitor. If you are a serious competitor and you have a different language, the judge is going to have to know what all your commands are. You're going to have to like write them down and tell him prior to the trial, because if the judge is out there, he has no idea what you're saying. He don't know how to score it. So yeah, you can use another language, but just makes things more complicated. I mean, if your dog's already trained that way, yeah, it's got to be consistent though. I saw what you meant about Nate. God, the guy talks way too much. Nice guy though, and has a good platform for trainers like you. I love Nate. I mean, let's be honest. Nate, are you going to be watching this Q&A? No, Nate's cool. We'll probably do something together in the future as well. But Nate's like me. He likes to talk. And when you get two big talkers together, it can be fighting for the talk. Nate told me before the podcast, before we started, he's like, man, I talk a lot. I'm going to try not to talk that much. And I was like, okay, sweet. So he was trying. He knows he likes to talk. He knows it. That's probably why he has a big platform. He's good at talking. But yeah, I would have preferred. It was cool though. It was cool. Super different. Doing a podcast like Nate, super different from anything else that I ever do. Super different from this because, it's always just me talking. So you gotta kind of, I'll tell you a funny story. I guess I'll just tell you this story. So we start the podcast. It's not live. So he edits it and whatever. So we start the podcast, and he goes, I like to start the podcast just by asking a question, and then you answer, and we go right in. No intros or anything. I said, awesome. And you guys know me. Anything you ever ask me, I will have an answer. That ain't no problem. What are you going to ask me? I don't care. Anything you ask me, I'm going to give you an answer. When it comes to dogs, I always got something to say. Nate's first question he hits me with, I told him this, was the craziest question I've ever heard. I was speechless. I was like, wait, what? I've never been stumped by a question before. I forget the exact wording, but it was something like, hey, Andy, if somebody only watches the first 10 minutes of this and like they're brand new to dogs, what's like the biggest thing they should like ever take away from training? It was something like that in so many words. I was like, there's so many directions I can go here. I was like, Jesus, Nate. I mean, talk about a quick. What's the okay? It could be that. Well, it could. Good God. So honestly, he hits me with that question, and I start to answer the question, and I'm talking, and then I kind of, I arrive at what I really want to say, and then I go, I don't really like all that fluff. I go, now I know how I want to answer that question. I go, okay. I go, Nate, ask me that again, dude. We need to run that back. For the love of God. Now I got it. That was wild. But now I know what I want to say. Run that question back. So he asks me again, and then I give the answer, and then we go through the rest of the podcast, no problems. But that was just hilarious. The very first question, I'm like, okay, Nate, could you get what the? But hey, I guess that means it was a good question. That was pretty funny though. I was like, I don't like how I'm answering this question. We need to redo this. That's the thing about doing a podcast like that. In my mind, it's like it's his audience, not my audience. People that watch it, they don't really know how I roll. So anything he asks me, I really want to give like a comprehensive answer. I want to give advice, but I have to be careful about the advice I give because some stuff works great for some dogs and the same stuff don't work so great for other dogs. So I don't want to give bad info. So I'm really thinking, okay, how do I tackle this question that he's asking me? And then when he totally goes off the rails and starts talking about something that I literally have no idea what he's talking about, and then he throws it back to me, I'm like, okay, so, and then I just kind of go off on what I want to say. So it's a little more exhausting than just answering questions in this format. I don't know why you guys needed to know all that. With Guardian Breens, tune in live, watch Andy mispronounce a bunch of words. With Guardian breeds, like the Cane Corso, I was just thinking about Corsos the other day. How do you balance respecting their genetic guarding instincts while still ensuring they remain socially stable and safe in everyday environments? Great question. Man, I was just thinking about Corsos the other day as I was driving home. I don't even know why. I'm not training any. But I thought like the Corso is a different dog. Andy, every dog's different. Thanks, genius Andy. It's different. Thank you. I've trained a bunch of them. I've had buddies that are trainers that have owned them and competed with them. They can be amazing dogs if you like that kind of dog. But they are just a different animal. That ain't like training a Malinois. That ain't like training a retriever. It's a different beast. Train a German Shepherd, train a Malinois. There's differences, but it's a Shepherd. You know, I'm training Clark. He's a Spaniel. Okay. You know, I don't know. It's pretty straightforward. That Corso's a different beast. Genetics never have mattered more than with a Corso. They matter so much for the Corso. If from a very young age that Corso is just sketchy and just ultra wary of anyone they see, ooh, those genetics you've been given are going to make your job environmentally stable, neutral, so hard to do. Possible, but so hard to do. So the Corso's genetics, you have to make everything really clear to that dog. Every step of the way from day one, because you can't get away with a lot with them like you could maybe with a border collie. You can't really get away with it. You need to honor their genetics, respect their genetics. If you go get a Corso, they're literally bred to be suspicious of strangers. Okay, I know that's like the layman's terms way to put it, and of course they're bred for a lot of other things. They're bred to be defensive. That's how they roll. That's why they were made. Those qualities can be really, really good for you. If, okay? So honor their genetics in training from a young age. You need to make things really, really clear to them. This is engagement. This is how we do it. This is a distraction. This is how we do it. This is another small distraction. This is how we do it. This is the leash. This is how we do it. You have a lot less room for error with a breed like that. When you put them in a situation where you could see those genetic components come out, you got to have a toolbox of tools ready to use with the dog. And you got to navigate the dog through that situation fairly and clearly. Situations appropriate for the dog to be in with their skill set. That's how you're going to build that trust with that dog to where they can be environmentally sound, socially stable because of all that work that you did. But it's a different animal. You can't get away with as much. You can't really skip steps, cut corners. Okay, well, he figured it out. That worked. Different beast there. What's your advice on trying to get my German Shepherd GS weight to about 60 pounds? Well, what's your dog's weight now? If it's 20 pounds or 100 pounds, the answer is different. Let me assume for a minute your dog's heavier. So if you want to get your dog to 60 pounds, it like, okay, feed him more. I don't know. But let's say you want to take the weight down. Was actually just talking to another Patreon member about this. Daily exercise needs to go up, but that just burns calories. Muscle weighs more than fat. Heavyweights. Tony Perkins. Exercise has got to go up. Food, portions, time of day has to change. You want to get weight off of a dog, calories go down, exercise goes up. Don't just starve the dog. We want to build muscle. We want to build endurance. When you have muscle, when you have endurance, something needs to feed that. So if you want to take weight off your dog, yeah, of course, we have to decrease their food every day. You don't need me to. Do you really need me? Dog is this weight, we want him lighter. Don't feed him as much. Thank you. Exercise has to go way up. I told my Patreon client, I said, hill sprints. Hill sprint. Young, healthy pit bull thing. Hill sprints, baby. That boy should be shredded. Oh! Who trying to get me in trouble? Who trying to get me in trouble? Name your top 3 trainers on YouTube and the worst 3. I need like the worst 100. Andy, it's unprofessional to talk disrespectfully about other trainers. You're right. I got it. So you know who sucks? No, I'm just kidding. Top 3 trainers on YouTube. Well, that's why I got on YouTube originally, because I just started looking at dog stuff on there and I go, why aren't there any good trainers on YouTube? I didn't watch. There's good stuff out there, guy. I'm gonna check out. I go, wow, look at this person. They have a huge following. They get a ton of views. Let me watch their video. And I'm going, wait, is this serious? Are you joking? There's a lot of that. There's a lot of good stuff too. If you keep up with my Patreon, I don't know if I put anything on YouTube, but if you keep up with my Patreon, you know I just did a board and train with a 2-year-old German Shepherd Malinois mix that was actually bred and originally trained by Shield Canine, which I know he has a big YouTube page. I thought the dog was great for just being someone's companion dog. Great dog. Did awesome training with it. He makes an appearance in the barking video I posted on here. So I thought that was pretty cool. So I definitely respect Shield Canine over there. And, you know, they're IGP kind of stuff, but I think they're pretty cool. I don't really I don't really like any trainers on YouTube. So I don't really get into that, but I'll see someone like that I'll go, okay, right on. He's a real trainer. He's a real guy. He's a real trainer. And then I see other people. You could probably fill in the blanks. Well, who else do I like on YouTube? Ivan Balabanov. You know, look, I'm not like a huge fan of his content, and I'm sure he'd say the same about me. I don't think he's sitting down watching Andy Kruger videos. But I'm not a fan of his content. Like, I do think he's kind of boring. I think it's kind of boring. But tons of experience, tons of knowledge, legitimate trainer through and through. So while I don't watch all the stuff, Ivan would definitely be on my list of like, hey, Ivan said to do this. Should I do it? Like, the answer is probably yeah. You know what I mean? So him. See, I'm trying to think of trainers that actually like do YouTube and don't just like have stuff posted on there. I tend to go towards the sport people that do both. You know, give me 2. I'll give you those 2. I like those 2 guys. Ones that I don't like, probably all the rest of them. Think of anyone else that I haven't mentioned. Probably not a big fan. Not because they're bad people. Not because they're lying and they're cheating. You know, I just don't think they're all that great. Which is fine. They probably wouldn't think I'm so great. And they'd be wrong. Okay, that was a fun question though. The worst 3. The list is too long. That guy, and that guy. Yeah, I definitely hate them. Stay professional. Okay. Any good courses or mentorships for obedience, competition obedience, and everyday topics like recall, reactivity, off-leash training? Great question. I'm actually pretty passionate about this subject. Any good courses or mentorships for obedience, competition obedience? You got to find, let me just tell you how I do it. Let me just tell you how I do it. My Patreon mentorship tier. Okay? It's not super cheap, but it's not going to dog training school. There are just general courses out there that aren't bad. Ivan Balabanov probably has a bunch of courses. If you go out and take those courses, you're going to get some good information. None of that stuff's going to be bad to apply to your dog. But unless you have something completely custom, you're only going to go so far. And that's what my Patreon mentorship tier does. It's not a big course you unlock where you go through step by step. It's okay. Now you're in direct communication with Andy Kruger all the damn time. And you're constantly asking me questions and sending me videos. And you go, hey, I want my competition recall to be better. I want competition healing. My dog's reacted. I go, okay, send me a video of where your healing is at right now. I want to see your dog's healing. And I go, okay, how old's the dog? Okay, how long have you had the dog? Okay, what breed is the dog? Okay, what have you done up until this point? Okay, so from where your healing's at now, this is the next step you need to be at. A week goes by, they send me some stuff, I go, good. That's where that needs to be. Now we're going to go here. And all that's based off of the dog, the handler, the genetics, all the prior experience. So you can generalize things, but you can only get so much from those generalizations. So, like, to really get your money's worth, you need a trainer putting eyes on what you're doing and critiquing that and keeping up that cycle with that trainer. It's a good way to complement a course. If you find a course out there, you say, I'll take that course, I'll get a bunch of good info. Great, you can do that, but nothing beats actually working with the trainer. Like, if you take X trainer's course, that trainer that developed the course probably isn't going to be, I'm just saying, I'm not naming anyone, but they're probably not going to be super involved and invested in you personally with your dog. They have a million other people taking the course. The course is like, we'll get on a Zoom once a month. You know, it's like, yeah, it's good, but if I'm going to work with X trainer, I want to work with X trainer. I want him watching my videos. I want her watching my videos. I want him watching my video and going, look, at 38 seconds in, see what you did with your right hand? Don't do that with your hand. Here's why. Keep your hand here. Okay, now at minute 15, why the hell did you just do that at a minute 15? Have you lost your mind? Bad trainer, don't do that at a minute 15. That's what I would want. So that's what my Patreon mentorship tier is. That's why it costs what it costs. It is extremely competitive in the market of courses and mentorships, but it's a lot of my time. And when I give my time, I really invest it into those people. And they're texting me all the time. And I'm texting them right back all the time. That's really the best way to do it. We all agree you're our favorite trainer. You know that, but do you have an opinion on Nino, Drouert, and STS Canine? I do. I sure do. Yeah, I do. Yeah, the STSK, you guys have probably seen like red high tops, really fast lures all over the place. He's cool. Never met him, but seems like a cool guy. Has a bunch of knowledge and experience training dogs. His system that you see him train with is very unique and can produce a lot of great results. I sound like a politician a little bit. It's not my personal style of how I would want to train a dog. If I went and took Nino's course, I bet you I'd pick up a couple little nuggets in there that I'd go, ooh, I like that one. I'd pick up a couple little nuggets in there. But it's not my style. You know, it looks sweet. It's like insanely social media friendly. The clips, you know what I'm talking about. This seems weird, but just fast, boom, 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 boom. It's very like performance trick, almost like kind of a vibe. It's cool. If you're like, hey, I'm gonna do a demo with my dog. Look at how much stuff my dog knows. Look at how sweet my dog is. Boom, 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 boom. That's cool. But it's not really my thing. I like being I like a little different approach. I like a little different approach. But it's not saying it's bad. It's like, okay, he likes cheese pizza. I like pepperoni pizza. Okay. I will say that stuff is it. It's not going to be like a good application for dog sports. Like if you want to compete in a dog sport, so that stuff won't be bad, but it won't like really be great for a dog sport. If you want like real world, just regular dog reliability stuff like that, I don't know if it's best for that. I'm sure it could get you there if you really. I don't know if it's best for that. You also really need to have like a very specific kind of dog for that, like kind of crazy high drive for the food. That stuff can look really cool, and it is really cool, but you know, I know how the sausage is made. I know behind the curtain, it all looks real sweet, but to me, it's just kind of like the dog's just like too cracked out and too like it's just not my personal style. Now he'd probably look at my stuff and maybe have the same opinion, but I do think he's cool. I do like him. I've had clients that have done some of his stuff, so he wouldn't be in my least favorite. Let's put it that way. He's not getting into that pile. You know, he can be with the good guys. I give permission. He can be with the good guy. I'm sure he's thrilled that I did that. What do you think is the ideal weight for a protection dog? I could give a million answers. Protection dog? Bigger the better. Bigger dog, better dog for protection. Bigger, scarier. Bigger, better. You don't want to have a total tub of lard though. I like Freddy's size. He's nice and tall. He's pretty well built. He's lean. He's shredded, but you wouldn't look at him and go, that dog's thin. Um, I have no clue what his weight is. I've literally never weighed him. 75, 80 pounds. If you say, Andy, you're going to get your dream protection dog dropped off on your front door tomorrow, what weight do you want him? I'd be like 75, 80 pounds shredded. All right, sounds good, Andy. Bigger the better. No fatties, though. Thoughts on Ivan Balabanov's view that play is way better than food for training? Something that Ivan has done really well because he's been in the game for a long time. He has brought play to the surface and really put it in the public eye. Because before, and I'm sure there's a million other trainers that are all the same with play, but he's the guy that got into the spotlight, got the microphone, and really started putting play on the map for like the general casual audience. You know, in like niche dog sport groups, like, yeah, that's nothing new. But for the general public, it's all treat training and clickers for the average pet dog. So he came in and went, whoa, whoa, wait a minute. All you guys are just shoving food in the dog's face all day. Like, you can't even play with that dog. If you withhold food from a dog, they will work for food for you. All you have to do is not feed them, and they will work for you enthusiastically. But will they play with you? You can't withhold the toy and get them to play with you. So it's a different skill set, and it's a harder skill set. And when puppies are born, as soon as they are up and moving, 5, 6 weeks old, when their basic needs are met, food, water, shelter, first thing they do is play. Every puppy ever. First thing they do is play when their basic needs are met. So it is really hardwired into the dogs. Play. It's one of the first things they do. They do it all throughout their life. They gravitate towards it. And I'm definitely with that. If you can't play with your dog, maybe even play with them anywhere, I feel like you still have some work to do. So look, is it more important than training with food? In some cases, for sure. In some cases, it's like, yeah, you've been doing this food stuff for a while. Your dog's like, so you try to play with it. It looks like, I mean, you trying to play with the dog looks like something bad. So in that case, yeah, that's more important. Great, your dog can eat a bunch of food and sit and stay and do robot stuff, but can you play with your dog? Your dog wants to play. It don't want to be sit, stay, robot. Your dog want to play. Learn to play with them. So yeah, it's important for that kind of dog. But for some dogs, it's like, is play more important than food? No, you need to train his ass with food. Forget about the toy. He needs to be trained with some food first. But overall, the concept, I do like it. I support it. You've never seen me own a dog that I'm not playing with all the time. Play is extremely powerful. Why are a lot of dogs reactive? If you've been here on this Q&A, that German Shepherd that was reactive to other dogs because he wanted to play with them, how can you compete with that? Picture two dogs playing. They get along famously, and they're playing. How the hell can you compete with that as an owner? Dude, that's hard to compete with. Feel the same way about me as you do about playing with that dog? I ain't a dog, brother. I ain't rolling on my back in the mud with you while you bite my neck. It ain't happening, Jack. So if you really want your dog to be engaged, neutral, locked in, amazing partner, yeah, you got to be able to compete with that amazing feeling the dog gets from playing with another dog. I urge my clients all the time. I go, we talk about training, food. Play with the dog. You need to be able to compete with other things the dog wants to play with. Play with the dog. Thank you, Rachel. Hey, Andy, big fan. How often do you feed your dogs? I feed my dogs once a day. It pretty much varies every day. Sometimes afternoon, sometimes evening, sometimes late morning. Just depends. It don't really matter. Now for my puppy Clark, he's at least eating twice a day. Those times change every single day. The amount I give him in training, when I train him, that changes every day. So if you have a new puppy and you're training the puppy and you're potty training the puppy, you're obedience training the puppy, quantities and times are just going to fluctuate. A dog that's established, my older dogs, once a day. Hey Andy, I have an Aussie, 1.5 years old. I'm at a plateau. Healing, obedience, still using treats to get him in gear. How do I build this off? Well, you got to hit the Patreon, number one. using treats, just what I was talking about earlier. You're at this plateau. You're basically at the edge of a cliff here. Okay, don't jump. You're at the edge of the cliff. So you've taken your dog with treats all the way up to the edge of this cliff, and you just can't go any further with treats. Well, look at this. There's another cliff over here, and this land, okay, is no treat land. So we have treat land, then we have no treat land. Okay, how do we get across? We build a bridge. How do you build the bridge? Negative reinforcement. That's the bridge. Talked about this on Nate's podcast between positive reinforcement, treats only, same performance, no treats. Leash pressure. Your dog has to be a savant with leash pressure from a slip lead. Again, I'm going to be coming out with a video this week, sometime next week, introducing leash pressure to my puppy, exactly how I do it. That's going to be the first step for you. Everything you can do with food, you have to be able to complement it with leash pressure until the food can go away and they can operate on just the leash pressure. That's how you're going to get to no treat land. I think that's the question. How did a trained Shield Canine dog end up with you? Would the owner not go back to him for training? The owner did go back to him for some training. Cause he likes me. He liked me better. He liked me a little better. I'll tell you the God's honest truth, and it's not saying anything bad about them at all. So they bred a litter of puppies. This was one of the puppies. This puppy was then sold to a home somewhere. This puppy got returned months later. No one has any idea why. Okay, well, I don't have any idea why. The current owner has no idea why. It was like a perfectly fine dog. I'd imagine it just like terrorized someone for a few months and they're like, he's too much because he's a lot of dog. Okay, so he comes back. So what Shield Canine does is they essentially put him in a board and train program and just sell him as a pet companion dog. So they did like a board and train type program. They trained him to heel, sit down, stay, place, come when called, on an e-collar. And his owner, he bought him. He came in. They ran him through a bunch of training. He followed up. He went back a bunch of times, did more training. Felt like he kind of went as far as he could go in that avenue. They did their thing, and he got it. But then after he stopped going, fast forward a year, the dog has regressed a little bit. Look, the guy's not a professional handler. So yeah, the dog's healing, went bye-bye a little bit. Slowly over time, we got a little more reactive to dogs. Remember, this dog was trained and sold to this guy when the dog was maybe like 9 or 10 months old. The dog's 2 now. So a lot can happen in that time. So I'm sure he wasn't reactive when they trained him and sold him to him and he did train, but over time, stuff like that can happen. So everything just kind of got loosey-goosey. And the owner wanted to work with a trainer where he'd be working with the trainer, not the staff, he want the trainer on it. So when a dog comes here, it's my dog now for 4 weeks. I promise I'll give him back. I treat him like it's mine. There's no staff letting it out. There's nobody running him through training. There's no one giving me updates. I do everything because I'm a crazy freak. And I do everything. I control it. And I got to know this gentleman. I got to know his lifestyle. I got to know the dog's lifestyle, what he's been doing with the dog, and gave him a 100% custom approach to everything that he wanted with the dog. And he really liked that and really liked working with me. So, not that they did a bad job with the dog, but he just wanted something different, I would say. Hit the thumbs up. Thank you, Rachel. And here's the thing about the Shield Canine dog, too. That was a powerful ass dog. That's a lot of daddy. Yeah. And if you didn't think old Andy was minding his P's and Q's while training that dog because he didn't want to get lit up, oh, you're mistaken. I had to watch my P's and Q's with that MFer. Because if you give him a little something on that leash and he don't like it, he's coming up for snap time. Straight genetics. Phenomenal dog, but challenging genetic. That's a lot of dog. And now his owner's a capable guy. His owner's committed, but man, it's one thing to learn how to handle that dog when he was trained at 9 months old. It's a total different skill set to like keep him tight and right for the rest of his life. That dog, the difference from 9 months to 2 years is 9 months. He was like a ninth grader. 2 years, he's a fully grown man. So it's a lifestyle. It's a constant maintenance. It's a lifestyle, and that's that. Do you think it's possible to raise a working dog when working 9 to 5 in an office? Unfortunately, no. Unfortunately, no. It's not possible to do. I would even say that's not possible with a pet dog. So, oh, I have the babysitter lets it out. The dog walker comes over, lets it. No, I know it's like possible. Yeah, I'm not saying the sky's gonna fall if you attempt it, but no. Puppies need a lot of time. They need a lot of time. With my new puppy Clark, it's like, yeah, it's not very hard training him. It's not very hard, but there's a massive time investment just in getting him through day to day. So 9 to 5, there's no way. In a working dog, no way. Unfortunately. Oh, and answer the question about my German Shepherd, 73 pounds, 4 cups a day. The vet says she's heavy. Oh, hey, if a vet tells you the dog's heavy, the dog's really heavy because vets usually don't go there unless it's big time. Yeah, 60 at the most. 60 at the most. 4 cups a day are going to go to 2 cups a day. You're going to feed that 1 time per day, 2 cups, and that dog is going to get acquainted with a little something I like to call hill sprints. Excuse me. Hill sprints. Okay, maybe that's extreme. That dog's got to be running and gunning, baby. Running and gunning. Goofing off in the backyard ain't enough. That thing got to be on a slat mill. You got to ride a bike next to that dog. That dog got to work, baby. That dog got to work. You don't want to just diet. No, not just, no, because it's a dog. Like, they're built to work. Work that ass. Oh, Ashley's late. How dare you, Ashley? I've been into leather, tug, and pillows lately. Thoughts? You ever worry about the canines wearing with other materials? Yep, canines can wear down, depending on the materials you use. That's for sure. I don't worry about it now. I wouldn't say I worry, but I mean, run it. Run it. Jasper's teeth are that big. Run it. Fred's teeth are still fine. I like the leather toys as well. Promotes the dog compressing as hard as they possibly can, where with other materials, they are, kind of stitched or the fabrics in a way where teeth can actually sink into the material, like you see it with jute or like a suit material. The teeth can hook in, and when the teeth hook into the material, guess who doesn't have to bite as hard because it's not going anywhere. So the leather toys are a great way to kind of maximize the dog's output when they're biting. Also, I wanted to ask, how can I book online sessions with you? You can do that through my Patreon. That's where you'll get the best value. Um, like it'll cost you half the price to join Patreon and do one-on-ones with me than if you just wanted to do one-on-ones with me. Why that is, I'm not sure, but okay, because I just like keeping it Patreon. So you join the level 3 tier, okay? If you want, let me see here, to book an online session with me, yeah. So the Patreon level 3 tier, $75 per month. Let me explain. Here's what it is. So for $25 a month, you get access to all the training videos I post on there, outside of French ring decoy. You get access to every video on there, 25 bucks a month, 300 bucks a year, cheaper than going to PetSmart for 12 weeks. For an additional $50 per month, you get one-on-one communication with me. We talk on the phone. We text. I send you voice notes. You send me videos. I critique your videos. Which normally, if you just wanted an hour of a dog trainer's time, God knows the prices they're going to charge. Okay, you're going to have Tom Davis charging you $300. Who said that? Who said? Keep it professional back there. So that's really what it is. It's basically taking your online session with me cost to 50 bucks, doing it through the Patreon. Every single day I work with my dog. He's 5 now. That's what I like to hear, Rachel. Okay, I think we got a couple more here. This won't go down as the smoothest. There, hey, I finally got the questions. As someone with a German Shepherd, what would be the best way to start to get him to be okay with settling? We train, run around, mental exercise. He's 1 year and 1 month. He still chases his tail and jumps everywhere. Okay, so you got a year-old German Shepherd. Full of piss and vinegar. Not a kid's show. What's the best way to get him to be okay settling? Easy answer here. Your climb command is a very clear, simple way to communicate that idea of settling to your crazy 1-year-old German Shepherd. The place command. I call it climb because I'm one of the cool kids. Go to your bed and stay on your bed. For a 1-year-old dog, they should be able to climb for 1 hour minimum, 0 mistakes. For sure. That skill set is in your dog right now. And you got to bring it out. But that climb command, it's so black and white. You get on the bed, you zip it, and you don't get off until I tell you. And it's going to be an hour. It won't be 5 minutes. When you're training climb, now there's a lot of steps to it. But when you're at the point where you're going to introduce duration, the more duration you can get, the faster, the better. Because climb isn't going to work teaching your dog how to settle if it's not for a long period of time. I compare the climb command to the crate. If your dog's crate trained, which I pray to God your dog's crate trained, you go put your dog in the crate, they walk in the crate, you close the door, you leave for 2 hours, and for 2 hours, dog goes in the crate and they go, shut it down. They go, it's going to be 2 hours, it's going to be a while, so I'm just going to chill out and take a nap in here. Never has my owner put me in the crate and then come back in 5 minutes later to let me out. The dog, good crate training, the dog always knows, hey, I'm going to be in here a while. And then they relax. So you want your climb to be the same thing. When your dog goes onto that climb, you want it like they're going into their crate and they go, yep, totally going to be here a while. I know the door isn't going to magically open. I know that it's not, I know I can't just get off the climb. I know I'm going to be here a while. And that's tough for especially dogs like yours to do. Physically do nothing right now. Yeah, that's hard. That's hard for the dog. Mentally, it's very difficult. That's the hump you need to get over. Mentally, that's a very difficult task. Physically, it requires nothing. If your dog has a legitimate climb command, they totally understand the concept of settling on command. So once you have that, we can start putting that idea in other places. But if the dog can't even climb, I don't see why I wouldn't start there. I guarantee you're not a Michael Ellis fan. LOL. Too much theory. I'll tell you this, though. Michael Ellis, he's been around for a while, and him and Learberg were like, every trainer had all the DVDs. I mean, this is when you bought DVDs. Learberg probably, they sold cassettes. This is when you bought those. So, no, he's not the first guy to do dog training videos, but Michael Ellis is like the first guy to do dog training videos and get them out to the general public, the general audience of dog owners. You know, before that, it's just very niche. You got to know a guy. You got to know a guy who knows a guy. You got to be invited. So he's definitely one of the, first trainers that every trainer, there's not a dog trainer alive that doesn't know who Michael Ellis is. And if they don't, you should slap them and tell them to quit. You got to respect the guy for that. Is he my style of trainer? No, he's boring as all get out. I'm interested in this stuff, and I'm still a little bored. It's a little too much of a professor vibe for me. I don't know, guys. And look, I'm sitting here just talking, but in my videos, it's working the dogs. I'm not a big fan of trainers who most of the content you see from them is like them talking. I'm like, okay, no, the talking's good. Can we bring a dog out? Can we bring a freaking dog out? And like, it's one style of like teaching and training. You wouldn't send a student and be nice. No, he's a cool guy. A little too much for me. But look, maybe it's a little bit boring to me because I'm not saying I know everything, but a lot of the stuff that he's saying, like, I know where he's going. I know what he's talking about. Okay. I don't need the hour. It's a little much. Let's get you out there sweating, Mikey. Get you in the suit. Come on, man. Get you working out there. No, he's earned it. He's earned it. I bet you this, though. If me and him hung out, we'd probably be boys right away. He'd probably watch my content and be like, dude, I can't get through this. You're annoying as hell. Fair. He's completely crate trained. He's actually amazing in the crate. Gets out of hand the moment it opens, even if it's 2 to 3 hours later. Oh yeah, that's that crazy German Shepherd again. Yeah, look, check this out. Perfect example. Dog's chill in the crate, no problem. She goes to open the door, and all hell breaks loose. I'm exaggerating a little bit. Maybe I'm not. Think about it this way. No matter what you do after you get the dog out of the crate, it always starts bad. You're always at a deficit. You're in the hole anytime you ever start a training session. If my dog comes out of the crate like an a-hole, I'm screwed. 1 year old, yeah, I'm screwed. I don't care how my 3-month-old comes out of the crate, okay? I don't care. 1 year old, we passed that puppy stuff, baby. If you can't compose yourself to some degree, I get it, you're a crazy little dog. I get it, I'll work with you. If you can't compose yourself to some degree, that's not really acceptable. I would do a boatload of crate training sessions, specifically exiting the crate. That would be like my whole focus. If this dog came to me for a board and train, I wouldn't really do with the dog, kid show, before I got him not just bursting out of the crate like an idiot. However you want to do it, this is what the Patreon's for, but however you want to do it, you need to communicate to that dog, you need to compose yourself before you come out. What are the rules? The rules are 4 of your feet stay on that plastic. That's the biggest rule. You need to convey that to the dog, and the dog needs to understand that and respect it. How you do it, there's a million ways. Food, leash pressure, corrections, that. Yeah, we could go down the rabbit hole. You need to convey that to your dog. If you open the door and his foot hits floor, he needs to know that's not allowed. Now, is he going to be real calm mentally coming out of the crate right now? No, that ain't going to happen. He's nuts. That's not going to happen. Okay, what can happen? He can control his body. He can control how his legs move. Trust me, when a dog is excited, they can still control how their legs move. I've lost all control. Chill, dude. You're getting out of the crate. Stop it. Come on. What? You think I was born yesterday? At a minimum, your feet got to stay. I mean, it's essentially teaching a stay. Don't use sit. Don't use stay. You can't enforce that. Huge pet peeve. Someone opens the crate, they go sit, stay. No. What if he don't sit? What if he don't sit? What if he sits, then he gets up? I said sit. Oh, great. So now he's just breaking commands with literally no consequence, except you telling him some more stuff. No. It's implied. It's an implied stay. So I open my door and he goes to bust out and I slam it on his stupid face. I go, no. And I open it and he goes to bust out and I go, no. Stop. Chill. And I open it and I throw a piece of food in the crate. And I open it and I shove food in his face. And I close it on his face. And then I open it and I feed him and I close it. And I open it and he busts out. And I go, no, don't do that. And I open it and I give him food. And I go, that's right. Good. Good. And then I close the crate and come back. And then I do that. And then I close the crate and I come back. The reason why your dog is giving you so much trouble is because when he exits the crate, he has entered the promised land. He want to get there so bad he is crapping his pants. You need to rewire that. Hey, when I open the door and I make you wait, guess what doesn't happen? You don't come out, Jack. How you like that? It's the opposite of what you thought, isn't it, stupid? I love you. Boom. So now when you come and open that door, he goes, this is a test. This is a test. And he does it perfect and you let him out. We could go on about that all day, but if he's not nice leaving the crate, good luck when he's out of it. All right, y'all, I think we did it. Another live in the books. Maybe I'll make these. Maybe I won't. If you guys want one, I mean, it's a little, if you like Jaws, probably like it. Keep your eyes on the YouTube channel. Got videos coming this week. Little one with Clark. The one I'm going to film. New one with Freddie. And, of course, the Patreon. If you're not in the Patreon crew, your dog's asking you why. Your dog's going, cough it up, Mommy. We want more training. Patreon.com/Andy Kruger. That's where I post almost everything I do with dogs. Awesome. You're welcome. So get on that. Happy training, y'all. We finally got some good weather here. We're about to get out there and mix it up a little bit. Happy training. We'll see you guys on the next video. And as I always say, don't screw it up. No pressure.